Hey guys, so today we're here doing a deck profile with Josh, who just went undefeated with Lucci, a very unique deck. I have played him in previous week, and it's actually cooks up pretty hard. It doesn't help that I had no idea what was going on, but it looked pretty cool. But yes, he just got his very first winner card tonight also, so we're just gonna go do a quick deck profile. So tell me what did the leader do first here, since I obviously had no clue. I'm pretty new to the game also still.
That is an excellent question, my friend. So your turn, once per turn, you may trash 2 cards. When one of your opponent's characters is KO'd, you may restand Rob Lucci. Folks who are familiar with Green Kid will love this leader.
Awesome. All right. So let's start with deck profile. What are you using in this one?
Absolutely. So first off, we have Spawn-Man. He is the starter of the deck. I will often mulligan to find him if I do not already have 2 other specific cards in my hand, which I will mention. Look at top 3, take a type CP card, and put the rest into the trash.
Okay.
Great for filling it up, great for starting your plays. Next up, we have the star of the show. One of the reasons that I feel Lucci can compete in this meta, Eni's Lobby. In my opinion, one of the best stages in the game. Activate main, you may rest the stage, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost, trigger, play this card. Only downside is that it's a world government card, and so cannot be searched by Spawndom as a CP card.
So you can bottom deck it pretty easy then.
You can, sadly.
Okay.
You can send it into the trash pretty easily, but that becomes fuel for a different card later.
Fair
so
enough.
It's not even that bad. Next up, we have our winner, Fukuro. I only play 2 of them. He's my dedicated weenie blocker. Very, very bad into red-purple law. Very, very good into Katakuri. Solid into Moria. Solid into anything else. So I like playing 2 of them. That feels very correct. And we've got the winner's card.
Okay,
and then next up, we are getting into my 2Ks. We have 4 of Navy Suru. Excellent 2K. I often will not play her on field for her effect, but it is still very relevant for reasons that will become apparent later.
Fair enough. Every black deck is staple, right? You know, she has in like Moria and Sakasuki still, I think.
Absolutely. What is a little bit less of a staple in black right now, but that I still feel is very good, is a 4 of Perona. Perona is a 2K. You all know her from Gecko Moria. I like her because she can often make your opponent play worse when they expect that she is in your hand. So they will throw cards out of their hand that could have been potentially useful later. Also a very playable 2K onto the field as a 5K beat stick.
Kind of a bait, for sure. All right, let's see what's next.
Little bit of a bait. Then we have the best 2K in the deck, Khalifa, CP9, searchable off of Spawndom. On play, draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards, and give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost. Only thing I don't love is that she is at 4K instead of 5K. Honestly, that does not matter. You will often play her turn 2 going second if you do not have the next card that I'm about to show you.
She'd be way overpowered if she was 5K or more.
A little bit. And then next up, we have the Air Door. This is the card you will mulligan into every single time. You live and you die by your Air Door mills. If your leader's type is CP, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, play a cost 5 or less CP character active onto the field, and trash the rest. Insane momentum, insane versatility, insane filling up your trash for later use. Excellent god tier card. You live and die by this.
Fair enough.
The Air Door is very much the gateway into the next part of my deck.
All right, let's see it. Mr. Lucci himself, it seems.
Lucci itself, very standard. Everybody knows this card by now. 3 from trash to the bottom of the deck, KO at 2 and a 1 cost. With cards like Stage Up, you can very easily make that a 4 and a 1 cost or a 3 and a 2 cost. And then next up, we have Kaku.
The giraffe.
The giraffe, man. Giraffes are awesome, I would say. You may put 2 CP type cards to the bottom of your deck and KO a 3 or less. One of the best targets off of Air Door. Air Door will fill the trash for both of them, and then they can instantly use their on-play effect. Very, very, very good.
A lot of cool cards I don't get to see too often here. Let's keep going. What else is in here?
Next up, we have a 4 of Jabura. I play Jabura over the Blueno, which is a CP-type blocker that can bring one out from trash on KO, because this is a much, much better card into red-purple Law. If you can get this turn 2 off of Air Door, they have to invest so many of their resources to get this guy off of the board. If they can't, he's a 7K beat stick.
All right, sounds good.
Next up, we have a few of our events. Great Eruption. Well, what else do I need to say? Ban-worthy card. I don't think I need to explain
No,
this.
don't ban it. Black players will definitely be molding after that one.
Black players, I must say, don't worry, because we get an even better version of this in OP07 with Tempest.
I don't like to hear that. That's not good. No, we gotta nerf this. All right, let's keep going. We got Sabo's coming up next.
All right, we do have Sabo, one of the best blockers available for black. Draw 2, trash 2. Super important for this deck in particular because you have 2 cards that care very, very, very much about what you have in trash already. And it's a 6K blocker. It's great. Also protects your entire board from KOs when he is played. Wonderful card. And last but not least, we have the big bad Gecko Moria. Play a 4 cost and play a 1 cost. You can play a Rob Lucci and a Suru. You can play a Perona or a Spondum to gain advantage. Those are the main plays in this deck. But if you need to play a Fukuro as a blocker, that is perfectly acceptable. I play him over Borsalino because he is a type CP card that can be played off of Spondum or in a worst case draw off of Erdor.
Okay. Is that 3 of or 4 of?
This is a 4 of.
Okay. Sounds pretty good.
All of my cards are 4 ofs except for the 2 of Fukuro.
Okay. So what are your dreaded matchups if you're doing the current meta here?
My dreaded matchup, funnily enough, is green-yellow Yamato.
Yamato, okay.
The aggression that Yamato can put up with their leader ability alone is very difficult for this deck to deal with, which is very much focused around controlling the tempo and the flow of the game.
Your last matchup for the winner card and the champion for first place was against a yellow Yamato.
It was against a green-yellow Yamato,
yeah.
and that one I would say that I did get rather lucky.
Okay, fair enough. What was the win con for that then?
The win con for that was opening stage and Erdor, and enough 2Ks to get out of the swings that they were giving me, and enough of my removal cards comboed with Great Eruption into Any's Lobby to get their attackers off the board.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you have too many blockers in there. Only a 4.
No, we're only playing, the 2 Fukuros and the 4 Sabos, so 6.
Okay, 6. Oh yeah, Fukuro. All right, yes, you just use him for a blocker also. How much 2Ks are you running?
I am running 12 2Ks. We have 4 Khalifa, we have 4 Suduru, and we have 4 Perona.
So you just maxed it out pretty much. Generally, you just run 8 to 12, so yeah. That looks pretty good. And what's a free win for you?
A free win for me? That is an excellent question. I've lately been farming Katakuri, one of my former worst matchups in OP03.
So we're not going to see too many Katakuris in the next meta. It's mostly a Nell. How does this do in Nell in OP07 since we're 2 weeks away?
In OP07, I will not be playing this version of the deck.
Okay.
Right now in the current meta, I am acceptable into an L. It is very luck dependent. I need to open perfectly with my Any's Lobby into an Erdor hitting a Kaku or a Jabara. Into decks like Enel, I will very often take life early to avoid the Gadatsu on something like my Rob Lucci, going down to 3 life.
Okay. So how does this do? Sokka's getting banned anyways, but how does it do in Sokka or Gecko?
Gecko Moria is whoever sees the removal that they need will win the game. It is very much a whoever draws better kind of thing. I feel that it is a mostly even matchup otherwise. If they can Gecko me back to back, I will likely lose, but if I am able to get my, again, Any's Lobby, my Erdor into Kaku to remove what they play off of their first Gecko Moria ability, and then keep that momentum up with either Rob Lucci or with my Kaku to stamp out whatever they are playing on their Gecko, I will likely win that. And then, of course, if I see my own Gecko, I can begin to run away with that game.
Okay, so it's pretty much like a Gecko mirror match then. Whoever sees the most Gecko wins?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. How's this doing in Red Purple Law, since we're seeing a lot of that now too?
Red Purple Law can be a tricky matchup. Jabra is the lifesaver against Red Purple Law. Erdor into Jabra is incredibly difficult for them to deal with. It swings momentum very far in your favor, and if they are not able to stand on your throat early on in the game, you will run them out of cards, clear their entire board with Kaku and Luchi, alongside Great Eruption and Stage. Their characters are right in that perfect 4 to 5 cost range for your removal to just stamp down every turn. If they high roll, they will be able to remove your characters in turn. So it's whoever is able to more effectively control the board.
Okay, fair enough. One more question. Show me the God hand that you want to open with, or what you would mulligan if you see.
The God hand that I want to open with. So if I'm going second, I want to see my Ennie's Lobby and my Erdor. And this deck will almost always prefer to go second. I want to see one of my Gecko Morias for use later in the game. I would like to see at least one of my 2K counters. I would like to see this fifth card matters less. But I'd ideally like to see some guaranteed removal, like a Kaku or something along those lines.
So as
I would
long
call
as you,
this a god hand.
So as long as you see 3 of these, you keep then?
I do.
Okay,
as long as I see
enough.
3 of these, I keep, especially these 2.
All
like
right.
these 2 are like you hard mulligan into either of these. You need to see one of these.
Okay, and do you need the Gecko? Can you search for Gecko? I don't think so.
You
right?
cannot search for Gecko. Gecko isn't mandatory, as mandatory as these, but it is the 3rd most important card after them, especially because Erdor is so effective at filling your trash for the Gecko.
All right, guys, that is it for this deck profile. It's EB01, and I'm pretty sure Rob Lucci just gets stronger in the next set. So make sure you like and subscribe and see that next deck profile when this man wins it again. He is the Lucci Gang, and as you can see, his Lucci mat, he's just all into that Lucci. A returning player, he's been doing this deck for the last 2 weeks and already with a winner card. Thank you for helping out, Josh. We'll see you.
Likewise, thanks. Glad to be on.
Thank you. Take care. Be safe.
Take care.